I see you shiver with anticipation.
But it's not my place to judge why people like a weird thing. I never do that.
Then what are you for?
Treachery to intellectual integrity.
Drooling, blithering idiots.
Absolute moral chaos.
What the is wrong with you? What the What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
Patient.
Life is chaos of nothing.
Life is sacred.
Yeah, we are back. Welcome,
man.
welcome everybody. How's it look? It looks better now. Yeah,
Looks a little
I put
better.
The camera a little panned out.
Yeah, a little
more.
panned
Yeah,
out.
it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it looks nice.
Welcome everybody.
Missed a spot.
I missed the spot. What do you mean?
Oh, just messing around.
Oh, you asshole! I was like, what are you doing? Welcome everybody. My name is Spider,
And I'm Alexander.
and this is the Freak and the Deviant. Where's my logo? There it is.
There it is. Almost.
Almost.
And there's the mess
And it
up.
gets small. Yeah. No, we didn't fuck it up that time, right?
Oh, nope.
Yeah, this is the podcast about freaking deviant behavior, anything and everything that makes you uncomfortable, makes you feel left out by the regular society. That's what we like to talk about. Welcome, join the conversation. We're live on, now we have our own Facebook channel,
Yep.
The Freaking the Deviant.
Yep,
There is
Facebook.
a YouTube channel for the Freaking the Deviant, and there's a Twitch channel of the Freaking the Deviant. So keep us up. If you want to watch live, that's the only two ways of doing it, unless there is any other methods. I think Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have an Instagram.
We have an
now.
Instagram too. Go to freakingdeviant.com if you want to find all our links to everything's already there. We have not posted our Patreon quite yet. We haven't determined the benefits.
Yeah, no benefits.
what
I mean, we
material's
only
gonna
just
be.
started recently recording
Yeah.
additional content. So.
Yeah, so only last week we made a little bit of extra content. We're going to do it again today, and hopefully we have enough to start.
I guess I could do some of my routines that I do for the Mongolian throat singing stuff.
Yeah. That's he's learning how to
I'm
do
learning
throat
how to
singing.
do throat singing, which is very weird.
And- oh, you know what we should actually start doing? Say the date.
Oh,
Kinda
yeah.
like Philip DeFranco.
Oh, yeah.
We have to start with "What's up, you beautiful bastard," or we punch you in the throat, or he got
Nope.
kinky after a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a little kinky there. We can talk about that.
But yeah, today is. It'll help if I know what day it is. I don't know what the fucking day it is. It's August something, right?
As
August 8th. Today's August 8th, 2021.
I don't have my phone.
Thank you for joining us. You don't have your phone.
I don't have my phone. Let me just put it right there.
Oh my God. Hey, hey, how's it going, Becky? So yes, what do we got today? What's going on with the government? Is that the
no? We talked
conversation?
about that last week.
Oh shit, we gotta skip that. All right, we're done with that part.
We did politics.
All right,
so that
so
was last week.
What's next for you? Throat singing?
Oh yeah, well I was doing throat singing, which I haven't been. There's a lot of things that when you're working with your throat that of course you can make jokes. Feel free to stick any jokes in
Stick
while
it
I'm
in.
speaking.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you have to learn that's different. I trained as an opera singer, and so like this uses a completely different set of muscles.
That is content for the Patreon right there. You doing opera singing?
I mean, that would be a thing.
Yeah. Nobody knows like this the talents behind this. 'Cause on the Patreon, I could do my magic. You could do your opera, right?
Yeah, that'll work.
It might actually be kind of a good way of like just expanding what we are as people, and not just this dirty talk show that we.
Definitely
have
dirty.
determined.
Yeah, it's a little dirty. That's okay.
It's just dirty enough, right? No,
We could go a little bit dirtier.
we can get a little.
We can get a little bit dirtier.
All right,
Mud wrestling. That's what
Mud
we're doing.
wrestling. Can we have a mud wrestling fight here, if we ever wanted to? Like that's.
Oh yeah, easily. I don't see
You
why
get one of
not.
those little pool.
Yeah,
like
just
the little
you
kids
get like
thing.
one little pool.
I remember having
things.
parties with blood fights and shit like back in the.
Oh yeah, back in the day,
the
blood
old
fighting.
days.
That is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is a
It was
thing.
corn. It was like fucking chocolate syrup, like Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
You gotta be careful with chocolate syrup though. There's a lot of
Yeah,
sugar in
that's.
that.
I heard a couple of females got some infections from the
Yeah, be careful.
from the sugary
Be careful
stuff
about
up in
that.
their
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah, that's
And by the
will
way,
mess you up.
that's something we never talked about.
Food.
Don't put sugary shit in your vagina. It's not good for it.
No.
Like it's kind of sexy to put the whole whipped cream bullshit, because it's in movies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it on Pornhub.
I have
Probably
seen it
reason
on
pros
Pornhub.
don't do that.
Yeah, I have seen it on Pornhub, but if you notice, it's always different. They never put it like on the actual parts itself. It's always above in the pubic area.
Yeah, like
That's
where, so it doesn't get
where
in the,
it is,
in
so
the
it actually
slit.
doesn't get down in there.
Yeah.
You need to definitely be careful. And that is actually something else that if you're chewing on something like gum, you just had gum in your mouth, give it a couple minutes. Give it a couple minutes, because if you have a lot of sugar in your mouth, especially if it's a fresh piece of gum, it can also lead to infection.
Holy shit, that's new to me.
Yep,
All
you have
right.
to be careful. Just
I remember hearing when I was younger, and I never like fact checked it or assumed it was true. So, but I remember hearing it that you could kill a girl by going down her and blowing inside of the vagina. That will get like blood clots or some weird shit. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
I don't know enough about it to actually answer that.
Have you ever heard that myth? Though?
I have heard that myth,
It
and that would
sounds
be an
bullshit
interesting.
as fuck. But
It does seem a little far-fetched. I don't know about kill. Maybe cause some damage to.
just a little,
Yeah.
just a little. Off
Make
the
it
top.
feel uncomfortable. I mean, I've always imagined, like what would it be if you just blew in the tip of the penis and just inflated him? Like,
Oh, you inflate the. Well, I mean, there's a thing on the back of the tube, right? Which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Where the sperm is.
no, typically it goes up into the bladder, and that's something.
Well, it
that they
depends
do.
on. Yeah, there's like a flap, so it depends. Kind of like the like. There depends where you're blowing, right?
Yeah, it depends on where you're blowing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can lift up the flat, and I wonder if you could just inflate the balls like
Do
that.
they control that when they're giving you CPR? Because if
Oh
you
yeah,
blow,
yeah. Normally, yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
interrupt it. What just happened? Oh,
What? Oh,
that's not good.
Oh, no.
We're getting cut off. There wasn't even copyrighted music this time. Let's like lower the quality to the shittiest. We only here
Oh,
for the
no.
chat here, but yeah.
okay. Okay. cool.
Hopefully we're not getting cut off too terribly. Sorry guys. I just got the video quality to shit so that we can still see the chat.
Yeah.
If you're having issues seeing us, please leave a comment. We know the recording's still going to be safe, and we can post it on the podcast later. So if the video looks like crap, sorry, we can fix this later. Oh, we have a scary thing over there. How's it going? There's a horror video game happening in front of
Yeah,
us.
Foxy.
You want to come see? You want? Is that copyrighted?
Yes,
You
most
want to
definitely.
come? We're gonna get marked for that.
Yeah, we.
For a custom?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, no, don't come out here. Go to your room. Oh, dope! He has a cape with a fucking mask on it. I don't remember buying that. All right, yeah. So I was definitely like, that's one of those myths that like you can kill someone by going down on them wrong. It's just like what? And then I remember watching. I don't know if you heard of this, and I gotta find it again. There was an educational porn once that I found
Okay.
where they attached a camera to the tip of a penis, so they can film the sex from the inside.
I mean, that's definitely a fetish that I have researched.
Oh, I mean, I would do it if I had the correct tools without it hurting someone. I don't have a camera small enough for that. I don't think my 360 camera fits.
I'm sure we can make it fit.
It depends on the person. I suppose.
Yeah, it
But,
depends on the person.
But that's definitely like one of those things to try out at some point.
You know what? Knowing you, that'd probably be something you could do. Go for it. I
I'm a
believe
video
in
guy,
you.
man. I was making sex tapes a long time ago.
I believe in you.
I always like cameras. But here, so I had a weird moment last night where I was just sort of meditating on things that had happened recently. And I remember that last week I watched Space Jam. The day it came out, I watched it. And pretty good. Like, the mask is in it. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it.
You have
I
not
haven't
seen it.
I haven't
The
seen
mask
it at
has
all.
a cameo on the back. It's not Jim Carrey. It's just the character of the mask. But the there's a scene in there where it's at the beginning, like within 5 minutes, they're showing LeBron James get into basketball, and the camera pans from the sky to the basketball court as he's a little kid and he's getting into basketball. And I immediately remember that that's the exact same thing that happens on the original movie. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened to R. Kelly? Like, fuck this movie, they removed R. Kelly. And that's legitimately what I said. So nobody went over, like everybody said, like, okay, that's funny thing to say, but whatever, we moved on. And then like last night, I just posted it on Facebook exactly the way I thought it. And there's a lot in that joke that no one got. Because like somebody legitimately, he's a pedophile, right? Like, no, I didn't know that. Of course I didn't know that. Oh my God. Do I have to explain? And so somebody else is like, fuck R. Kelly. And I'm like, and somebody's like, was that a VHS release or something? And I'm like, what is happening?
The humor is lost on this
So
one.
like at the third, fourth comment, I was like, okay, I need to make a TED talk for this fucking joke to explain the layers of like irony that I threw into this that no one understood. Because the first layer that anyone should have gotten on the first try is those fucking people that watch a sequel or a remake and go, it's not like the old one, fuck this movie. That's the obvious criticism, right? I'm
Right.
pretending to be one of those jackasses. Like, they removed that fucking song that wasn't the first one. I don't want this movie anymore, right? That's one layer. The second layer is, yes, R. Kelly's a fucking pedophile. Fuck that guy. Obviously, they're not gonna put his fucking music in any movie.
Right.
Totally get it. But the other layer of that is, there was a scene in that movie with Pepe Le Pew who was supposed to flirt inappropriately with someone, and Bugs Bunny would call him out. And we're like, hey, we're not allowed to do that anymore, or something like that. And Pepe Le Pew would actually go, oh, all these years I've been wrong, or something wrong.
Yeah.
That was the scene that was planned for him. Now, that scene got removed. And a bunch of right-wing people were like, you're fucking canceling a cartoon character. Even though the most likely reason they removed that is because it was too woke a moment, and somebody was gonna throw a fit if that scene was in the movie. Guess who would have thrown a fit?
Yeah, the exact same.
The exact same people that got pissed because they removed Pepe Le Pew. So rather than addressing the Pepe Le Pew bullshit, I picked a different thing that they changed that also removes a sort of rapey
Yep.
thing, and pretend to be outraged about that. And I feel like that joke went in so many fucking ways. No one got it. I felt so lonely last night. Just in my mind, I'm like, I'm the only one that gets this.
I remember the
shit.
message.
Yeah, I messaged you like, you get that, right? I'm not a fucking, like, I'm not too out there. Like,
You're too out there for Facebook. I'm sorry.
I didn't think that I had to explain that joke, but apparently no one got it, and I feel really shitty.
Well, now that you've explained the joke, it is clearly dead.
It's funnier now. I'm sure jokes are way funny when you explain them, right?
Yeah. The joke is dead. That just
Yeah.
means you got to make a new one.
Joke is that I gotta write more shit.
You got to write. You got to write.
I should be. I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I hear that a lot of them are fucked up in the head.
Yeah, it
And
makes sense.
I
can relate.
got a head start. You can do stand-up comedy, can you?
I probably
think,
could.
I mean, this is very much comedy. What we're doing here.
I disagree.
Do you disagree?
I do.
Because you meant for this to be educational, which an occasion is when you come in with your research.
Yeah, when I actually come
we
in
talk
and
about
research it,
when you don't come half-cocked or double-cocked.
Yeah,
I don't know what
usually half-cocked. Yeah, when I'm only sporting a partial, I tend not to come in. Yeah.
Oh, that's a double joke.
It is. It is. There you go. There's your
tired.
jokes.
I'm sorry. I am not like hyper as I'm always. And
I woke up today. I got a haircut.
No, you're looking good, man.
I
got
feel,
a haircut a couple days ago too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both look better from the last podcast.
Yeah, we both definitely do. I'm actually really sad. I'm about to go bald. It's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
you were already. You had like the thing back here from your dad.
Yeah. I'm already going bald, but that's okay. I'm okay with
Don't,
that.
I think. Well, no. I'm not gonna put a sponsor.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Philip DeFranco usually.
Yeah. It usually
does this
has.
thing. Well, maybe give it a shot. I don't know.
They have stuff for that. I honestly don't mind it. It's a sign of growing older, and I'm okay with it.
There used to be.
Also, I think I would look pretty okay bald. I look just like my father.
Yeah,
My
your
father
dad,
looks
yeah,
good
yeah.
bald.
I think we
so.
both have a pretty high like hairline over here. I got that Joker thing going on here.
Yeah. My father had it really bad. It was like down here.
The Dracula.
Yeah, he had this like he can get like the Dracula going on. I'm like, yeah, I'm not that fortunate.
I think culturally being bald has changed. 'Cause I think back in the day, people would like desperately try to cling to as much hair, like, and they would like. I think Trump does it, where like he fucking combs it over.
Yeah,
to
comb
like
overs,
hide the
things like
bald
that.
shit in the middle, like would grab the sides and put it in there. I think at some point it just became like, if you're going bald, just fucking shave it and just be okay being bald.
Yeah,
that's definitely changed culturally. It's just like the mullet has gone away, mostly.
mostly.
I think people do it ironically now.
Ironic shit posting is still shit posting.
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose. More of a language thing, I suppose.
I mean, the sentiment is still there.
I had a post. I don't think this is gonna translate to a podcast well,
Oh, okay.
but I'm doing it anyway because why not? I got nothing else going on here. No, I posted a thing about language the other day that was just so fucking interesting. If I can find it, we can talk about it.
Okay.
Especially because I know you don't keep up my Facebook. We're not that kind of friends.
No, I'm actually a good friend.
We're like old school. Actually, that's one way to put it.
I don't give a shit about
But honestly,
Facebook.
the amount of shit I put on Facebook, nobody would have time to do anything if that's all you ever did.
Yeah, I'm generally not on Facebook at all.
Yeah, I think we used to have a bet going that if I find you live on Facebook, that you owe some like a steak dinner or a cookie?
It was a cookie. It was a cookie. Because I never got on, like, at all. Now I get on every once in a while.
And I've caught you, and it was like, I no longer do that. I think somebody already claimed it by then.
Yeah, someone already did. It was Tyler.
Of course it was Tyler. Well, that guy used to have a lot of free time. I don't think he does anymore.
Well, you know.
He would obsessively like learn skills. I miss that dude. The fact that he just learned how to make chocolate out of just pure curiosity.
Yeah. I mean, I do all sorts of stuff like that, though. Learned how to smoke, Mongolian throat singing.
Wait, you didn't know how to smoke?
Not originally.
Like smoking briskets and shit?
Yeah, I had to learn how to do that.
Oh, well, yeah. But
I wasn't born with the innate ability to cook. No, unfortunately not.
Damn.
I was actually so bad, I actually reduced water to the point where it caught on fire from the minerals that were inside of it. I caught a stove of water on fire, yes.
Jesus.
I was really bad at cooking. Also, fellas, learn how to cook. It's important.
Yeah.
It's super important.
I know how to make some Mexican dishes that my mom taught me how to make. Dude, I can't find that post to save my life anymore. But there was a whole lot of language. Oh, there it is. Here, see if you can make any of that interesting.
All right, you keep talking. I'm gonna.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Yeah, that's it. That's my speech for the day. 7 dirty words you can say on television, but you can scream on the fucking internet. It's all about language, and I was just looking at it like, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little language things about English. How did you ever learn this language?
Exactly my point. Like, I was looking at it like I understood all of this. And I know a lot of people that natively, like, that always only spoke in English.
Yeah.
That will miss a lot of this.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all pronounce it data or data. And it's spelled the same way, but I know what he meant.
Yeah.
People who learn English as a second language are fucking superheroes. Could you imagine looking at the word yacht and not giving up? Fucking yacht?
Yeah,
That's
yacht
not
is
how you spell that.
Yeah, yacht's a little weird.
I think at some point Dimitri Martin, just like in the middle of a bunch of other jokes, he just makes a blanket statement. Wednesday is spelled wrong. Moving on.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, yes it is. Yep. Never thought about
Wednesday.
it. Wednesday. Why is it called
Wednesday?
Do people get married?
I'm assuming that's where it came from.
It must have been, right? No, I think see, in Spanish, this is something I happen to know. In Spanish, the days of the week actually make sense to the planets that are based off of.
Oh.
So, for example, lunes is luna, like as in the moon. Martes, which is Tuesday, Mars is Marte. That's the name of the planet, and that's the name of the day. Almost identical. There's an S on top of it. Like, that's it. Miércoles is Mercurio, which is Mercury. Thursday is Jueves, which is Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter. I'm trying to translate everything. Friday is Viernes, which is Venus.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday is Sábado, which is Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
That makes actually more sense in English. Saturn, Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is the Sun, which is Domingo, which that doesn't actually make any sense. In Spanish, sun is Sol. So that's the one that doesn't really quite click, but they're closer to Latin, so I can see how that.
Yeah.
That was based on what they considered planets back in the day. Planetes, right? That's before they could see everything. They thought the sun and the moon were planets. They're the things in the sky.
Yeah, there's things in the sky generally.
Yeah, that's all the things you could see.
Some people thought that heaven was the sun. It's just where you went. There's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of weird stuff.
Which is funny because there is no word in Spanish for heaven. It's el cielo. That means the sky.
There you go.
So even the religion teaches you go to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say that it's a different place from the sky. And I think that's always been the moving there. Oh, hi. I know Thursdays come from Thor and Friday comes from Freya.
Yeah, so those are Norse gods.
That's not correct. Is it? Saturday is for Saturday. The days of the week were based on the planets. On the 7 planets or what they thought were planets at the time. Did I learn this wrong?
Well, I mean, in English, I don't know. I don't know where the original. This is the.
Well, I guess once they get translated in English, they might have just added another culture to it to fuck with it.
Yeah, because welcome to English, where we just kind of shove everything in a big barrel and then just spin it a little bit, and then there's your language.
I remember having a conversation with him. English messed it all up.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember having a conversation with him about the what words were improper when I was growing up. When I was learning the language, they told me Ghana and Wana don't use them. They're incorrect. That's not how we talk the language. So I always thought that you're not supposed to use them, and now they're pretty much the standard. That's how you mix going to and want to.
Yeah. Gonna.
And that's completely fine. Like.
Well, it is an ever evolving language, and considering the fact that a lot of people speak it, it's just going to. I mean, have you ever tried to keep up with like deep Aussie speak? Like,
Aussie?
Yeah, Australian, like deep Australian.
Is that what Aussie means?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, deep Australian.
Thought Ozzy
that
was the
stuff.
Black Sabbath guy.
We'll react to it afterwards for the thing. But yeah, trying to keep up with their speech, completely different. They are speaking English, sort of.
Sort of.
They're definitely English words most of the time.
So is fucking what is it? Deviant word, the band from South Africa.
South Africa.
They speak Afrikaans, but they also speak English with a thick accent. And it's like, oh shit, that is English. Like you read the subtitle, like they did say that. It just didn't sound anything like that.
Yeah, it's thick accents. I mean, hyper Southern accents can get really bad, especially with a lot of drawl and like timbre changes and things like that. It can really mess you up, throw off your rhythm that you're used to hearing in English.
I think Trevor Noah once said, accent is just someone speaking your language with the grammar rules of their language.
Basically.
That's why they mispronounce things.
But what if it's English to English?
Huh? Yeah, that's what I don't know how that happened. Why is there so many different versions of English in this country?
Yeah, just in this country alone, you have.
Actually, in Mexico, we have that too. There's a southern and a northerner type. I'm actually from the center of Mexico, where there is a term for that speech, which is Chilango.
What does that mean?
People from Mexico, that doesn't translate to anything.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds almost like a vague insult, like lame. I don't know how to translate it. Like there's no translation, but just based on the context, it seems like an insult.
So kind of like hillbilly speak.
Yeah, hillbilly. I think that would be the best. Yeah.
Because it's slightly, it's kind of a jab, but
you know what's funny? Like I know my dad knew how to talk like that Mexican accent from Mexico City. That's specifically for that city, by the way. It's nowhere near the other states.
Oh,
it's
really?
just the city in the center of the capital of Mexico that people talk like that. I don't know why. And it's fucking weird. But I grew up in a border town where we speak Spanglish. There are words that I learned that we used that now that I know English, I'm like, oh, that's just the English word conjugated in Spanish, and they made it a completely new word. Like troca or cacha. Troca means truck.
Truck.
They just took, what is it? They just added an A, I think?
That happens a lot in Japanese too, where they just
Do they
converted over things that just don't really exist in that language. They just move it in.
Oh, interesting.
They're just like, yep, say this.
It's like there's picante versus like so spicy or hot. There is a distinction in Spanish. That's fascinating. I don't know how the fuck we got into this.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
Okay.
Language is one of those things that we kind of bonded over.
We're both the deviants that analyze the language too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this like what else? But you speak another language, right?
I speak a fair amount of German.
German. You never said anything in German here.
No, but we did a test like 30 podcasts ago.
A test?
Yeah, remember we sat down and we were translating things in Google about.
Yeah,
we had that. We had a whole thing on that.
Yeah.
We've already done that one. If you want to.
We gotta do that again.
That was a good one. Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah. I just said throw a translation, see if we got it right.
I'm not nearly anywhere close to fluent or anything like that.
I want to learn French.
I can get the gist of a conversation.
Oh, okay. You can tell when somebody's angry?
Yes, I can.
Because I think most people in Spanish can tell without knowing what they're saying, just by the way, the pronunciation of certain words. You can tell there's anger.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. And yeah, I did grow up with someone at my church when, I still did
you
that.
went to church?
I did. I got really far into that. I was a solid, I don't know, what's the second to last karate belt?
What? I don't know that.
Oh, like a brown belt. I think it's brown. I think it's probably brown. I don't know. I don't do karate.
What is the order of them? I didn't even know. I know that there's colors of belt, but is there a
yeah, there's like a transition.
I remember going to Taekwondo when I was a kid. I'm pretty
You
sure my
did
belt was
taekwondo?
always white, and I'm guessing that's
That's the lowest
the
belt.
loser
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Not loser, just unknowing. You just
because
don't
I didn't
know
learn
taekwondo.
shit. I never picked anything up from that. I don't even know why I went. I don't like violence. I don't like violence either at the time. I guess I like the Power Rangers. That might have been it.
Yeah, and Power Rangers is pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it martial arts?
Yeah.
Well, I bet you they're different for like taekwondo.
Yeah, no, they're
versus-
definitely different because
So there's not
jiu-jitsu has it completely different.
No.
I'm not going to use those.
There's not even a point of knowing that
yeah
information.
Well, I was like a brown belt in church, so
Wait, in church?
Yeah.
Were you trying to be like a?
yeah, I was going for that. I was going for being like a priest or a minister or something like that.
Well, you got the perfect thing out of the way.
Yeah.
You're already there.
Yeah, I'm already. Yeah.
You're pre-trained. Now you learned that afterwards, right?
Yeah, I did. I actually learned most of my
Your kinks.
actual Bible study after church.
Isn't that weird? I always
Yeah.
thought so. Correct me if I'm wrong. It always feels, at least the American experience, it seems like when you go to college is the first time you go outside of your area.
Yeah, that's what
and
it's
that's when
supposed
you
to
start
be.
actually meeting people that have different trains of thought, and this is why it's usually in college that you start experimenting with drugs, sex, alcohol, all that crazy shit, because this is the first time you get to meet people that are very much different from your background, and you find out they're not fucking monsters like your, I don't know, your little culture or your religion or somebody pointed out to be. Because I became an atheist because I met someone in college that was an atheist. And they asked so many questions, and I'm like, you're probably right about that.
No, I had more of the, I guess, the Pendulette version, which is when you actually read the Bible, it'll make you an atheist.
Yeah, I remember reading it too. I
Yeah,
always had questions.
yeah, that was my problem, is that I had way too many questions that just didn't have answers. And I went and looked. I know all the best arguments for all of the Bible, and I looked at them. But the problem with them is that like even the great religious philosopher people, so like St. Thomas Aquinas and all like Descartes and things like that, they fall short, right? They always do. When they get up to that question, they always fall short, and I wanted to know why. And that question is unanswerable, right?
Yeah.
Why is it that you have all this logical thinking up to a certain point and then it stops? Well, the answer is that, of course, that's where belief starts, right? That's the answer to it.
Which is, I think, have you heard Neil deGrasse Tyson has he has a speech about not intelligent design. Is oh my god, what is it called? Oh my god,
Describe
I lost it. Basically, at the edge of your knowledge, you have to say faith.
Yes.
And even Newton got to that point of getting to that point where he's like, okay, I can explain this. I invented mathematics to explain this, but this here I can't understand. It must be the gods. And that's always something that actually, in science, there is a point where a scientist will reach his knowledge, and I can't explain this anymore. There must be some higher power, which is that common saying. There must be some higher power that explains this. What?
Yeah, their own shit and making them. Yeah, that's fair. That's because they were so far apart from one another. There's so many.
The editors of the Bible were too lazy to cross-reference their own shit and then make a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah, that's.
So they didn't even read the parts of the Bible that were already there.
Well, yeah,
to
there's
base it
that.
off
But
of.
they're also like, if you think about like when it was being compiled, you had all sorts of different people trying to compile at the same time, and people who are rewriting the old written, right, into different forms.
Yeah.
The original stuff is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
It's all
playing
written
telephone.
and rewritten, and at that point you are playing a game of telephone. And it's not just rewriting. In some cases, it's rewriting over upon just about 100 to 300, 400 years difference in writing, and you can tell. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of differences here. And even when you go to things like the King James Bible, stuff gets missed in translation there between that and the previous version, and the previous version before that. So now,
So what is the King James Bible? Is that
it is
somebody else's?
the most recent translation by King James.
What year?
That's a great question.
Oh.
I don't know.
Not familiar.
I don't
God
know
of
the
Gaps.
exact weird. I'm assuming, yeah, God of the Gaps, which is, the if you cannot explain it, therefore God.
Yeah.
But I think we're also talking about a phenomenon that is, they will just assume that there is nothing there, right? Or
Yeah,
that
yeah.
or that is done by something that they cannot themselves know.
I believe it was intelligent design that I'm thinking of.
Um,
But basically he took the phrase and just turned it upside down. It's like intelligent design is something that is in fact in science when we run out of answers. And that's happened multiple times. You know, Einstein did it, Newton did it. They get to the edge of it, like, well, it must be the gods that control the universe or something like that.
yeah.
I think Einstein was was known to say something like, "God doesn't play dice."
God doesn't throw darts.
He didn't mean a god.
Yeah.
He meant that the runs of the universe is not by chance.
Yeah,
It
it's
must
not
be-
random.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. But they were like,
Yeah.
he was religious. Like he probably was, but that's not what he meant.
Yeah, that's not what he was going on about. He's kind of famously, kind of opposed to the idea of a god, considering the fact that he did so much for things like, general
like,
relativity
even-
and all that other junk.
I recall even like
Stuff, not
Darwin
junk.
was religious.
Yeah, Darwin was also
It
religious.
just happened to have proved that the things were not like they were not designed the way they are.
Yeah.
They changed, and we saw that. Sander, please go to your room. Turn that off. We're recording.
We're actually live right now.
I know. He's out here with his tablet and like these fucking microphones are sensitive. I'm only kicking him out for the next 30 minutes, okay?
Yeah, it's
He'll-
only 30 minutes.
I'm not being mean to my son, I promise.
Buy him an ice cream.
Buy him, he has ice cream.
Oh, he does?
He has Hot Pockets. He has all kinds of shit here. Anyway, but I forgot what we're talking about. Evolution.
Oh,
Religion,
yeah, we're talking
intelligent
about
design.
Intelligent design.
How did that faded away, right? Weren't they trying to teach that in schools? Now they're trying to not teach history, which is a whole nother.
Yeah, a whole other problem.
It's the same bullshit. They don't want to feel bad.
There's
That's
a
really
lot
it.
going on. That also dips pretty close to politics, unfortunately.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's okay.
How do you feel about that January 6th thing?
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
The episode of Raw, WWE.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like John Cena came back
Yeah.
and some shit like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
something. That's what we're gonna go with. That's what we're gonna go with.
Ah, I'm awesome. Anyway, dead people. But
Anyway,
here's a good one though. And it's just something that came to mind is because that dude's face is on my screen. How far you can go for a joke? At what point do you call something too far for a joke? Because that dude had a fucking shit plant named after him. Do you know that? Do you hear
yeah,
about that story?
I did hear about that.
He also has a chlamydia center for koalas named after him because of Russell Crowe. Talking about John Oliver, by the way. I don't know if you guys can't see what the screen in front of us, and even if you were watching, you don't see the screen across the camera. But
Yeah, honestly, we couldn't put that up anyway.
no, bro, couldn't.
HBO would slap us down.
Isn't that what we want?
I mean, that's what I want.
HBO. What are they like? It's insane to me that it used to be sort of a.
I remember it with HBO way back when I would stay up late and like try and catch HBO with like the sex hour because that was like a thing.
It was a sex hour.
Yeah, there was like a sex hour where they would have like a, what was it called? It was like a, they would go on the street and ask people about like their weird kinks and their weird sexual stuff, and they would then talk about it, and then they would go into some of the more fascinating things. Oddly enough, a lot of people, like when I first started watching, I was like, hey, boobs, right? Free boobs, yeah, boobs. And then like they had one on, there was like an art exhibition about just naked people who were painted, and they brought an artist who did makeup and just full body nude makeup on a whole bunch of different people. And I was fascinated.
Interesting.
That was probably my first like real exposure
Did that sort of inform any part of your interest in the future?
Yeah, I think it definitely made a difference between like the way I look at nudity and sex in general, where I can make it, there is a distinction between just, the mental pleasures and the physical pleasures of not only sexuality but sexual expression, things like that. At a very, very young age, I saw that and I was like, huh. So the person who made that documentary, thank you.
We gotta look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I don't know what
tag
it's
the person.
called. Yeah, I have an image in my head, of a very distinct image of my head of what somebody looked like. We'll have to look it up. Maybe try and react with that.
Yeah.
That's what I used to. That's what I know HBO
Interesting.
for. Is
I know
that
for George Carlin, but I mean
George
that's,
Carlin.
that's after I was already American.
Yeah, that was way later.
But I do recall a long time ago finding a translated show that was about sex, but it wasn't porn. Jesus fuck, what was it called? They would interview people on the streets.
I think we might be thinking of the same
What's your
thing.
sex life, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they must be doing this at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could not for years in my life. I'm like, how do they get people on the street to talk about something so private? But I also grew up in a culture where talking about sex is a no-no, right? You don't do that. That's not something that people talk about. Where I'm now in the United States, where people, not everyone,
You get them about 4 drinks in, and
but
they'll
there's quite a
spill the
lot of people
beans.
that would be willing to talk about their sexual behavior or their kinks, their fantasies, or whatever. Or like, oh, this one time I fucked 3 dudes. Like, girls will just say that at the bar. This is something I've heard. But it's one of those things that I didn't grow up in a culture where people ever talked about sex. But I was never an adult in Mexico.
That's
I
fair.
left when I was 14, right? But now that I know better, and I know that when people drink, they talk a lot, I know that show must have been filmed like.
So what you're saying is
outside of
that we
bars.
take a trip to Mexico and we go to some bars.
No, but that show was translated.
Oh,
The
it
show
was-
was happening here.
No, I was saying is that now that you're an adult, we go back to Mexico and go see bars and see if people are willing to talk about their sex stuff.
Oh, to test if that's actually
Test
the
to see
case?
if that's a
Yeah.
thing.
We'd
That
have to
would
go
be
to
interesting.
dangerous Mexico, not like Acapulco or Cancun, where it's a bunch of white people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, little man. How you doing? You're hungry now. I'll get you something to eat after the podcast. I'm sorry. I tried to feed you earlier and you didn't let me. Bruh.
Bruh,
That's my kid. All right. But,
get told.
oh, he dabs too. Yeah, no, he's
Like a champ.
He's his grandma. He just had a birthday, by the way. My son just turned 8 years old last week, and
Congratulations.
my
I
my
can't believe you made it
mom-
that far.
I know, right? With this dad,
Yeah.
I thought I would have accidentally killed him with some a couple of times. Like, oh shit, they eat.
Do you eat? That's a loaded question. Don't answer that.
What happened? You asked him a question. It was like a deer in the headlights. Just what? And ran away.
Oh,
this
kids.
is cruel entertainment.
That's gonna be our most watched segment.
Like, God, I hope not. I don't want CPS on my door. Like, what are
No.
you doing? You're making fun of your son on a podcast? I wasn't. She just asked him a question.
I
don't
did.
understand
It
what
wasn't
happened.
even. It wasn't even a major question. I don't know.
I would be curious though what you were talking about. Like, honestly, fuck Mexico. I'd be curious to drink in different countries and see what kind of behavior is acceptable at bars.
Yeah, that would be
because
interesting.
I'm almost certain there is a societal understanding that when drinking is happening, some behavior is more acceptable than not when you're. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just honestly haven't been drinking in enough countries. When I went to Japan, I didn't really do any amount of drinking out in a public area. You know, I was just hanging out with my buddies in Japan doing that drinking. So, I mean, I would love to go to a bunch of different countries and see, if I was rich.
I like to think that karaoke is very common in drinking. Like, karaoke and drinking go together.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I can immediately think of cultural things in like London and Germany where they drink and sing.
Yeah.
That's like a thing they do.
Yeah.
Which is, it would have sounded goofy to me until I got into karaoke and drinking, and I was like, oh yeah, that totally
makes
goes.
sense.
There are a lot of people that are refusing to sing until they're drinking. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just there's a thing where things change behaviorally.
Yeah, I have personal
because
experience
alcohol, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know why I didn't put my finger on that. Like exactly.
with that. Yeah.
When we started hanging out, you refused to sing until you were drunk. Not drinking.
No, not drinking.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
And we had to drink like 99 schnapps to get you there.
That's because I was
You're a
big.
very big dude. It took a lot of effort to get you drunk.
Yeah, and half the
Yeah,
time I was
like-
like, I'm not drunk. And I was like, I'm out of liquor. It's like,
Yeah, because we could only get the small bottles of 99 schnapps. We still have like a bunch of the bottles from the different flavors that we found. Because you like bananas.
Stuff's good. I like bananas and apple.
When you brought it up, it was like, oh, there's something called 99 bananas, and I really like it. And I did my research and found out that they make 99 fucking everything.
Yeah, banana and apple are my favorite.
Yeah, those are good. We should drink that again at some point. I haven't. No, I think. Wasn't that like terrible for blackouts or like?
I don't remember. I never
You
got
don't
that
remember?
drunk. I don't think I ever got that
I
drunk.
believe
and
there
if
was
I did,
a reason I stopped drinking it because that stuff is strong.
oh yes, it is
Super
very
sweet.
strong.
There's a fuckload of sugar in it. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure something wasn't working with my chemistry.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we gotta give up the 99 shit. It was cheap as shit. It's like $17 a bottle and it's 99 proof.
Yeah, it'll get you messed up. Like if you want to get messed up quick, you go with the real fruity sounding schnapps.
Fruity sounding schnapps.
Like you go get yourself a shot of raspberry schnapps, and it sounds like it's not going to get you drunk, but you get a 99 and it's good.
Do you have any interest in joining me when I have like an absinthe party?
I'd be down. I mean, we did absinthe
I
that
want
one
to
time.
buy. Well, I want to buy the real antitoxin 98%.
Oh yeah,
alcohol.
the really
It's like
really strong.
190 proof.
Yeah,
It's
something
80
like that.
something percent alcohol, right?
That'd be 160 proof.
Because it's 190 proof,
190 proof would be
80% alcohol.
90% alcohol.
80 and 80 is 100. No, I'm doing it wrong.
Yes, you are.
Yes, completely. All right.
It'd be
I'm
90% alcohol.
Yeah, you're correct. It's 90% alcohol and it's 180
I
proof.
know
It's 180 proof. Got it. I thought it was. I don't know.
I do
But
a math sometimes.
Antitoxin, absinthe. It's you can only buy it in like Germany and they have to ship it to you.
Sounds expensive.
It is 89.9% alcohol.
89.9, so almost 90 proof. Sorry, almost 90%.
No. Proof goes to 200.
Right. That's what I meant. I
it's
misspoke.
Yeah, it's almost 90% alcohol.
So it'd be
which
almost
makes it
180%. Or 180 proof.
yeah.
Blech.
That's ridiculous. But by the way, the bottle is $41. However, that bottle is only 500 milliliters, slightly less than a bottle of Coke. You know, the small bottle
Yeah,
of soda?
small bottle of soda.
Yeah, 500 milliliters is nothing. However, with that kind of alcohol, you don't need a handle.
No.
You know what I mean? Just that little thing
No.
is going to do enough for
If
the
you took
party.
a shot of that, you might die.
Well, you're supposed to mix it with the sugar and water.
Yeah,
right? You're supposed to
sugar
water
and
down the
water
shot.
and
If
water
you take that by
down.
itself, that's way too much liquor in one shot, I think. You want to light it on fire. You have to, right? Light the shot on fire.
I mean, that's what I would do.
I'm just trying to think of like how much liquid is in one of these. So that's 355 milliliters. We're talking 500, so it's slightly less than this. Slightly more than.
Slightly more than that. So the bottle's about yay big.
Yeah, it's like it's just a tiny little skull with green liquid that can kill you. So that's.
I mean, we have hot sauces
I
that
will
will
be
kill you
buying-
probably
that's-
fast.
Yeah, actually those hot sauces could probably damage someone if they.
Yes,
overdo
definitely.
it.
I mean,
There was a story of somebody who like they were pranking someone. They grabbed one of those super hot sauces, just fucking destroy the wing with it. You know, just completely slapped it and like put way too much in it, and the dude just fucking bite it like whoa and like passed out, and the dude could have had a heart attack.
jeez.
Yeah, it's there's not shit to fuck with. Imagine if we actually gave up like so. You know, Ed Curry, the guy who grew the Carolina Reaper and the Pepper X and the Apollo pepper.
Right.
That guy was an alcoholic drug addict. He gave all that up, and he said that an angel told him to move to North Carolina and started breathing peppers.
What an asshole of
That's
an angel.
his life. Yeah. An angel gave us the Carolina Reaper, apparently.
Oh man.
So,
And
yeah.
people who are into figging love him.
Into figging?
Yes. Actually, they typically use like ginseng or
It's
or
figging.
not
I
ginseng,
feel like
ginger.
you've told me this before.
Yes, we've actually explained it on the podcast.
Fuck.
Not ginseng. It's ginger. Ginger. You typically
I'm
use
assuming
ginger.
put it in your ass.
Yeah, typically.
That's not-
Any other sensitive areas?
Any other sensitive areas?
Yeah, you definitely should consult like a
Except
professional.
spicy stuff is a neurotoxin. Why would it do anything on your ass?
In your ass? Because your
Yeah.
ass has taste buds.
Does it?
Yes, it can only taste one thing.
Is it spicy?
It's spicy.
Tell me that's not true. You're fucking with me, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the problem. Is I have just
Is
enough
that-
information
If
to.
that's real, oh my god, I want to know. Like, is your ass capable of tasting spicy food? That would be fascinating.
It's a good thing. Yeah, keep talking for a
Keep
little bit.
talking for a little bit. Well, anyway, the story of Ed Curry, the guy that started Pucker Butt, is the name of the company that makes the peppers. He he was a drug addict again, and he said an angel told him to stop, and he gave up all his life, grabbed his belongings, and moved to North Carolina, where he started breeding peppers. And that's the story of him becoming this world-renowned pepper grower that makes ridiculously hot sauces, inventor of the Carolina Reaper, and then the hottest pepper in the world, the Pepper X. And then he mixed them, Pepper X and Carolina Reaper. The mix of those is called the Apollo pepper, and there's a hot sauce for that now, and I want to try it. But that dude gave up alcohol and drugs to only consume super hot shit, and he will eat Carolina Reapers like they're M&Ms. Like, I've seen videos of him where he's having an interview, and he's just snacking on them, just fucking destroying Carolina Reapers like they're nothing. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting high now. And I'm like, oh, that's what he did. He stopped doing drugs and alcohol, and he gets high off of peppers. It's a neurotoxin.
Yeah.
If you consume a lot of it, you will get high.
Also, apparently it's from the acid. That's why you feel it in your butthole.
Well, yeah, it's an oil, capsaicin.
Yeah.
Is the
Apparently
oil
it
that
doesn't
makes things
break
spicy.
down very much. And so if you eat a lot of it, it goes all the way through your system.
And that's why you still feel it on the way out.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Which case, yes, if you put one up there, the acid's still going to be there. Like, the effect is still going to be
still
there.
going to burn on the way
It's
out.
also still a neurotoxin, and it's still at a point of absorption, so it would still give you an effect.
That's fascinating. All right.
Just which end do you want it to burn from?
If there was ever a time, hold on. Where's my clip? Now it's not loading. There it is. There it is. Motherfucker! You saw that? I clicked it and it went away.
Oh, we tried.
No. We're doing it. There it is. It's not there. It's gonna be delayed. But yeah. Yeah.
Well,
we'll see
yeah.
it here in a second, but people will hear it. It's what matters. See?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
popped
there it
up.
goes. There you go.
Nailed it.
Oh my god.
No one's watching. Who gives a shit? Anyway, let's see. How are we doing on time here? We're being 46 minutes. We still got time.
We got a
What
little bit of
else
time.
you got other than
Okay,
spicy shit, spicy talk?
Spicy talk? I mean, spicy things are pretty deviant, from what I've heard anyway. At least among the general culture. But, yeah, I mean, I can go into figging again, but I was going to bring up... Don't spit. Swallow.
You waited for that?
Swallow.
Oh! It's been a while for that joke. It's been a while.
It has
You
been.
bastard.
It's way too much. Anyway, so I was going to talk about a little bit about that the topic we brought up yesterday, which was the anarchy, the relationship.
Oh, relationship anarchy.
Anarchy.
Yeah. You
Because
did some research.
I did some research.
Of course.
I went and did some research. Did some research on the lifestyle and exactly how that pertains. So it's a little bit different from what we initially discussed on the podcast, but the general rule of it is the same, right? You are completely against any form of authority and also just structure in general, right? You don't ascribe a structure to the relationship, right? And this has a lot of benefits, but it also has a lot of, problems, right?
Yeah.
It can cause problems. A lot of people associate it with no rules, but that is not entirely accurate. It is a lack of structure, right? There can be rules, though usually generally pretty vague, Things like don't hurt anybody. is
Well,
very
obviously,
typical.
rules of consent still apply even in...
Right, and that's one of the things is that, like, there are rules, but it's more than just consent is a thing. There's also things like you would also apply a general rule of, like, be clean.
Oh, well, duh. Yeah.
But they are generally more
Wash your
vague.
balls.
Wash your balls. I know there's some people out there who don't wash their balls.
You have to. They get that I suppose I don't have to define we
We don't have to describe
the
exactly what
scenarios,
happens.
but
Yeah.
just wash your balls, guys.
Yeah, it tends to be. Some people call it chaotic. I disagree. I think that it is relationships in and of themselves aren't chaotic, right? You aren't. You typically are seeing a person multiple times. It is different when you are actually creating a relationship instead of just a one-night stand.
Correct.
Right? Which would be the ultimate form of, I guess in this case, relationship anarchy or relationship chaos, which is you only do one-night stands and you never sleep with the same person twice.
Oh, yeah, that would be that would be more chaotic.
Yes, that would be more chaotic.
I like to think I never really had a structure with most of my relationships. Is we do what we feel like it kind of thing.
Right, which would be
But it's
anarchical.
still together, and we still like see each other every day, kind of thing.
Right.
So, like,
There
I can
is-
see how that would be.
Yeah, it is very
structure.
similar to that. Yeah, there is a structure to it. It's just you don't ascribe a structure. You don't give the structure name and form, right? It isn't hey, we're going to be hanging out from this time to this time or anything like that, which
Yeah.
is typical in certain polyamory relationships where you have days, planned days where you're hanging out with
schedule.
person, a schedule.
Yeah, I think I told you about that. There was a post that said like polyamory is just adults that have a scheduling fetish.
I mean, you don't need to be polyamorous to have a scheduling fetish. I do that all the time. I schedule my sex.
Do you really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Holy shit! I think I talked about this before.
Yes,
and you
we've
didn't
talked
mention
to
it.
yeah.
What? Okay.
I don't schedule all of my sex.
Not all of it. All right. There's
Yeah,
got to be some
not all of it.
spontaneity.
Yeah, there's some spontaneity there, but there's definitely some days where it's like, no, we're going to be having sex on this day,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I've
of
had-
course, like if something happens, I'm not going to be like, no, we planned this. No, obviously not. But
I've actually had partners who will refuse to have sex with me if it seems like it was a plan. Like if I did the pedals or something romantic that obviously is like, hey, let's do some sexy stuff. They're like, no, it doesn't feel like in the moment.
yeah, I'm like the exact opposite. I don't like
You like the structured
I like
plan?
the structured plan, like especially if I'm the one being taken care of. Like I want to know that some thought went into this because that means some care went into me personally. That's just the way I view it. I don't know how other people view it.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm either way. I have been in situations where like there's clearly an intention and a plan, and they clean their bed or like
Clean their butt.
Yeah, they they shaved, like all that.
Yeah.
They clearly did care for me to enjoy myself, and like I appreciate that, but I also appreciate the spontaneous, like non-planned, just on the moment thing, and yeah. But that's interesting. But
Yeah.
again, I've had partners who will only appreciate it. There's sort of a plan and effort into it, and there's some others that are just, if it's planned, it doesn't sound right. I think that's Michael. Come in. Come in. Is it locked? Do you lock it?
I didn't lock it.
Get past the camera. We're recording. That's my brother, everybody. Just passing by. We're gonna watch midget wrestling after this.
Oh,
Are you sure you don't want to join us?
no, I'm fine.
I can't. How have we not talked about midget wrestling through
I
the entire
mean,
show?
I
The
mean,
fact that I'm gonna go watch midget wrestling is insane. to
well,
me.
it's your job to bring it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to bring up the fact that you're going to go watch midget wrestling. I mean, I could.
And by the way, this is one of those things that I've heard before. The midget is sort of a bad word. You're not supposed to call them that. However, that's what the show is called. I don't even know they're midgets, by the way.
Well, they could just be very small people.
Yeah, or they could be kids for all I know. I have no idea. But the poster says midget wrestling. And I'm like, okay, so that's an event that's happening.
I mean,
You want to go see midget wrestling?
I'm okay with being called all sorts of
If
stuff.
they're not midgets,
I've been called all sorts of stuff.
you've
I've been
called
called.
a midget?
I've never been called a midget.
Oh.
It's a little hard. I am 6 feet tall, so I've never been called a midget. But there's a first for everything.
Yeah, I
and
guess so.
I've been called all sorts of really bad stuff. And it's all about how you own it. I mean, you remember when we were down off of down in downtown Austin, where with the gay pride stuff and people calling people all sorts of bad names and shit.
Oh yeah, my mom was like high five the faggot, and then somebody would do it like, it's contagious. That was like a thing that was happening.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been called that stuff.
Yes, if you own
I
it.
don't care at all. That's fine.
That's interesting. I think I like to think that comes from somebody else getting offended on your behalf.
Yeah.
You know those people?
I don't like people being offended on my behalf.
Yeah.
It upsets me.
There was.
I become offended by people being offended on my behalf.
There was a person at my party last night that I just met last night that like random Mexicans showed up because I'm like, who the fuck are you? Because I was like somebody's boyfriend or something. And they're like, who's that guy? I never seen that face before. It was like some random Mexican that just showed up to your face, like to your house, and I'm like, okay. I don't think you know me because that joke doesn't fly. Like, it doesn't connect because I'm more Mexican than you by a lot, right? And sure enough, I sat him down and later on, a couple of drinks have been had, and I'm like, where are you from? I'm from Austin. I'm like, you're not fucking Mexican. I was born in Mexico. That's what Mexican means. I don't know what you think Mexican means, But I get a lot of that people that is like, I'm Mexican. Like, where you born? In Florida? And I'm like, well, you're American.
I would ask which part of Florida.
Which part of Florida? That matters? That makes you more Mexican?
I mean,
no, I think
it's Florida. Let's be real.
Fuck, if there was like, if there was a state that you would remove from the United States, what would it be and why would it be Florida?
Yeah, basically.
What would be in Florida? I've never been there. I have no idea what the... Is it shitty there? Like,
it's crazy there.
is it?
It's crazy.
I think like I've seen the news clips that come from there, but
Yeah, Florida's
I'm pretty sure crazy shit happens everywhere and doesn't get us reported.
Yeah, I think that's also another part of it is that Florida actually has like some.
They have a bad PR.
Well, then no, actually, what they have is the ability to report on any topic.
Oh.
So there's real freedom over there, and if someone gets caught doing something, you can report on it.
Oh.
And so there's just a lot of reports because.
So that's just like the Bermuda Triangle shit, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this magical place where airplanes. So like, if you see the flight patterns, that's where most planes go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's with the most traffic in the whole world. That fucking triangle is where most boats and airplanes pass through.
Yeah.
That's the place with the most traffic has the most accidents. Of course, that's going to happen. That's
Yeah.
just how it works.
Yeah. So yeah, they just have a higher report rate than we do.
Interesting.
So that's why you get all the crazy stuff like Florida man threatens drive-through with alligator, and things like that. Threatens to take money with
I
alligator.
just heard a headline that was like a girl went to jail for giving alcohol to the drive-through employee through the window. Like feeding him through. And I'm like, how did she do that without his consent? I can only think she had a squirt gun full of liquor.
Oh my God.
You've seen those at parties? And she shut him in the fucking mouth and the dude consumed, I mean, what if he's a Mormon? I don't know. Muslim? Somebody who was not allowed to consume alcohol and he's like, alcohol in my mouth, I'm going to hell. I don't understand the scenario.
You ever wanted
for
to
this
like?
to be the crime.
What if you took like one of those real good the Super Soaker ones, the one that's just a pull?
Yeah, the syringe.
Yeah, the syringe, and one of those, fill it with some sort of real high like alcohol, and then just spray it in somebody's face.
That's a waste of alcohol. They're not gonna consume all of it. And one of those, we're talking like, I don't know, $20.
Well, we get like we get
unless
like
you get the cheapest booze possible, but that's not
that's not
as fun.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Dude, imagine that absinthe. Like to fill that up, it's 2 bottles. They're $43.
I mean, it's probably more than 2 bottles. Those things can take up a lot of liquid.
I remember they used to sell, I think they still do, tequila in a gun.
Oh yeah.
And like the openings on the top, so you kind of have the gun like that and you pour it like that. That's stupid as fucking design.
I mean,
It should have been a squirt gun.
It should have been a squirt gun.
You have to control it because you tilt it a little bit. Somebody trips you.
Yeah, you almost
there
have
goes
to
the
hold it with 2 hands just to pour it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like that. I mean, I guess it teaches you proper gun safety, and you have to have 2 hands on the gun. I guess.
I guess.
I,
Do you have a
I don't-
preferred design for a bottle? Like what's the most
Preferred design
intelligent
for a
design
bottle?
for bottles, you think?
Honestly, the Fireball bottle is not bad. The fact that they have one central handle on it, right? It's pretty easy
And it
to
actually
shape.
takes air in, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know if like I don't know if there's engineers doing this shit, but
Yes.
there is some thought going into a lot of those bottles about how the physics, how easy it is to
A
knock
bottle
over.
that I hate is the Kraken bottle.
Doesn't that have like the metal cap that like bends and you can never put it back?
No. They have a big bottle, and you always buy them
Oh,
in
and there's like
huge,
2 holes and you
there's
can't fit your
2
fingers in
tiny
it?
little holes, and you try and grip it, and I have these fat thumbs,
And they get stuck in.
and so like I can't like I pour the shot, and then I'm like I have to like press the bottle out of
And by the way, they're usually ribbed,
yeah.
so they fucking hurt.
Yeah, you just can't get stuck in there,
They're
and you have to
ripped
like
for your
I have to like
non-pleasure.
I have to like prepare my thumb before I get in there, otherwise it gets stuck, and then I have to wiggle at it. and-
What? Yeah, I never thought about that, but those little stupid things on the top, what are they for?
I
I feel like you're supposed to put a rope in it and hang it on your belt.
that's what I'm assuming.
Because it's rum,
But
right?
the
It's
problem is
supposed
that
to be like
the
piratey-
neck isn't long enough for you to grip.
It's not, no.
So like you can't just grip the neck. I mean, unless you have tiny hands. But
That-
like, but I have
people
tiny
might.
hands.
You just have fat fingers.
I just have fat fingers. I have like dwarf hands. It's weird. And not like
back to this.
Yeah, we're not like talking to like
Full
midget
circle.
dwarf. We're talking about like dwarf, like J.R.R. Tolkien
the
dwarf.
same, the same hand as... I don't know, no, you do have smaller hands.
Yeah, I have tiny hands.
Considering you're way taller than me,
Yes.
I shouldn't have bigger hands than you.
Yeah, I have tiny hands.
Interesting.
It's funny, my friends always make
just
fun of me.
accidentally combined powers. Fuck.
My friends always make fun of me because if you remember, the Burger King did like the Whopper thing. He's like, I have these tiny hands.
Oh, and
yeah, the guy's like, I'll hold it for you. and I have tiny hands. And so every time that commercial would come on, they'd be like, "Hey, you want to go get a Whopper?" And I'm just like, "But I have these tiny hands." Like if you just look at them, they're
that is another thing that I've forgotten about this.
like they're very small. Like you can see how small they are.
I must have mentioned this in a previous podcast at some point, but that was one of the YouTube channels that I kind of wanted to start up. Is something along the lines of, I guess, Tosh.0 or Equals 3, or maybe Phil DeFranco did it for a little while, where you react to commercials. Like, that's it. Every fucking commercial just breaks logic in every possible way for the dumbest points, and sometimes they don't even make the point. Like, they're trying to sell you a product, and they're like, "Oh, this hot lady has it." I'm like, that's not a selling point.
And who are you to say that lady's hot? Maybe I like men.
Maybe I like men. I like the one that the insurance is my favorite to analyze. The insurance commercial. There's like, "She sounds ugly" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, who is it? It's Jake from State Farm.
Oh yeah, the Jake from
Like,
State Farm.
"What are
yeah.
you wearing?" "Jake from State Farm." I was like, "Khakis." She sounds hideous. Like, well, she's a dude, so yeah. Like, I don't get it. If she thought he was cheating, the fact that sounds ugly, it's not a good criticism. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. None of that stuff. Oh
It's
my
such
goodness.
a strange.
There's so many commercials that I have to shoot. I guess we can do some reaction stuff, but there is a lot of commercials from, especially from like the 90s, that get
used to do some
really
crazy
weird.
shit.
You remember the old Capri Sun ones where they would like become like they basically the Silver Surfer and like go around? Did you ever see those?
No.
Oh,
You
man.
can show me that after.
Yeah, that one's
Interesting. I remember, didn't like, you're the one that remember this more vividly than me, but Chappelle talked about like a Capri Sun commercial where there was like some purple stuff on the fridge, and the black kid in the back is like, "Yeah, it was just some purple stuff. See what you got there." They made fun of that in a movie too. Oh my God, what was the fucking movie? I don't remember, the one with Ron Springer. Where like the Amish go to a Ron Springer concert and like Green Day is playing.
I don't
No?
know.
Oh my God, what is the name of that stupid movie? Anyway, in that movie they go to like a redneck hillbilly house and it's like, "Help yourself to a can of purple." And they open the fridge and sure, the fucking can of soda says purple on it. That's what they're drinking. They're drinking purple. Whatever
Hey, it
the
works.
fuck that is. Yeah, that
works.
was a weird joke. I guess, why can't I remember movies? I remember movies perfectly every time. It was like on the Kin to American Pie, one of those kinds of movies of like sexual bullshit. Nope, you got nothing?
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Damn it!
I can't help you here.
All right, talk for a little bit. Let me look it up.
Well, in other news, I recently learned about how big black holes get. And it has nothing to do with real freak or deviant behavior, but it is very interesting and very scientific. They get way larger than I thought they did.
To where you think you're...
Well, you would think of a black hole.
You can measure them?
Yeah, we can measure their effects, right?
Okay.
You can't really see them either, because if you remember the picture of the black hole that we took, you know, it's just a big black ring with stuff around it, right? But you can measure the effects based on the stars that are around it, the things that do emit light. And we found a very, very big black hole, and I didn't realize how big it was until it was put to scale to me.
Like, here's Earth, here's this black hole, but then there's this black hole.
Actually, imagine it is
my
actually
brother
this
commentating
big.
over there without audio here. Sorry
Imagine
about
it
that.
is this big. Imagine you have a grain of sand. Imagine you have a grain
I
of
put
sand.
teenage sex movies thinking I'm gonna see a bunch of like the posters
Yeah,
of
the
movies,
posters of
American
movies.
Pie.
No,
I
it's
accidentally
you-
found nothing but
you,
porn
You
here.
get
I'm
porn,
sorry.
yeah. I mean,
On Google, what the fuck? I didn't know that was a thing.
I
I
clearly.
thought Google would limit porn. I don't know why the
So,
fuck I thought
imagine
that.
the sun.
Sorry.
That sun is not the grain of sand, but smaller than that. That grain of sand is actually our galaxy. And the black hole is the size of this house. That's how big it is. It isn't just big. It's so big you can't even comprehend how big it is.
Fantastic. Like my dick. No?
No, we're talking about your hole here. All that for one joke. It was a good joke.
Nice setup, nice setup. You took a run onto that fucking plate and fucking boom!
Nailed it.
God damn it. I cannot think of that stupid movie. I'm looking through like
Okay.
lists of
Well,
teenage movies here, but I got nothing.
I mean, I that's all I got. That's the only joke I got.
yeah, we're out of information here.
Yeah, I'm out of information. I was talking about your hole.
Wait, is it called Sex Drive?
Did you just find it right there at the very end?
No, I just remembered a set of words. I'll be damned. It's called Sex Drive.
Oh man.
This movie.
No, I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's called Sex Drive. It's on Netflix now. Dope.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all right. It's an okay movie. It's a little goofy, but Seth Green is actually the Amish person that like fixes their car for free, and he's like, yeah, he was like fucking with them. He's like, computer, like he doesn't understand, and they're like, I'm fucking with you. We know what the internet is. This is fine. They had like a concert with like Green Day, and it's like, what's happening here? Like Rumspringa, and that's where that's the first thing I ever heard that term. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
So apparently for the Amish, and this is something I looked up and it's true, they have, when they hit like a particular age of like self-discovery and stuff, they'll leave the colony to experience the world, like for as long as they want. Some of them don't come back.
I mean, that's...
But yeah, they'll go to Vegas, fucking get a prostitute, get high, do drugs, get drunk, go to parties, do all that crazy shit, and then leave it all behind and go back to the Amish colony and live the standard basic life, right? And Ross Springer is supposed to be like, hey, you get to try it and understand that this is what people do. Now we're gonna go back to our life. This is the way we live, and they did that in the movie.
Huh. I need to know more about the Amish.
I remember this movie.
Huh? I don't think you've seen it. But yeah, it's called Sex Drive. It's not bad. Like the thing with the Amish was like fascinating, but other than that, it's a lot of like very dumb American Pie type humor.
Yeah, I mean that sounds fun. I mean, I didn't know that about the Amish. We need to get an Amish person on here. I don't think they would ever do it, but
I mean, we know a Mormon, but he never went that far.
No.
Well, how are we gonna get an Amish person? Where are we gonna meet one?
I don't know.
Can we Google that shit on Craigslist or
I don't think they're on the
Google it
internet.
on Craigslist?
I don't think we could offend Amish people. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think they're on the internet, so I don't think there's any
I don't
problem.
think they get our podcast.
Yeah, I don't think they get our
Shit.
podcast.
We have to do the thing from South Korea. Like
I can't call them on a telephone either, even one of those old-timey ones. They just don't have it.
Paid their phone since 1990. What is it called?
Oh, yeah. It was
That song came up last night at karaoke, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm
Technically,
so glad.
somebody played the Gangster Paradise, and Max wouldn't stop singing the other version. It's like, hey, fine, let's fucking switch it to the album.
Amish Paradise, yeah.
It's
a good time. It's a good time.
That's a good one. But yeah, so like, again, I keep thinking like South Korea, let's like drop some files on their area, see if they run into this.
There has to be an Amish compound somewhere in Texas.
It has to be, yeah.
I'll take a drive and I'll ask.
Buy some land next to them.
Yeah, I'll buy
Start
some
throwing
land.
parties and hey, want to join?
Yeah, how about you bring? They'll go and experience, and they only have to walk like 10 feet over to the next.
Yeah,
to the next sure.
It's a very Texas thing, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be nice to your neighbors. You guys want a steak?
I'm pretty sure they eat steak actually.
They have to, right? Don't they eat
Yeah,
like
I think
normal
they
food?
eat normal food. They
Yeah,
just eat,
usually
like,
things that
Amish.
they grow from like their
Yeah.
own farm. So I'm assuming steak, eggs.
It probably
the
tastes
basic.
really good.
Don't
Actually,
they make their own butter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
have to,
churn
like,
their own butter.
their own butter, which I still don't understand how butter is made to begin with.
Oh, really? You've never made butter?
No, why the fuck would I make butter?
Because it's good. It's fun.
Because it's fun.
It is.
Isn't
It's
it,
super
like,
fun.
Somewhat similar to masturbating.
Well, I mean, if you use one of those big butter churn things, I guess.
Isn't that what you make?
I mean, this
I
is
only know from
exactly
the Weird
how
Al video, bro.
I churn butter. So,
Why is that not a euphemism for jerking off, by the way?
churning the
I gotta
butter.
go churn
I
some
don't know.
butter.
You gotta go churn butter. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta do the.
I'm okay with churning some butter. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Hi, Cameo. Oh, what are you doing? Kissing me. Got it. Are you trying to give me a secret? What are you doing? Oh, there you go. Aren't you sweet? What are you doing?
Can I have some mac and cheese?
Oh, now you. I'm in the middle of something, you know.
Please.
I will give you food in.
Just please.
We got like 5 minutes left. Can you wait 5 minutes?
Please.
Hey, you know how to make it, by the way.
Well, that has to get cut.
Oh, that's a good fucking. My son just did a weird cameo. All right. So that's what my son looks like. He has red hair now.
Yep. Good thing this is alive once. That has to get cut.
We need to cut it?
I'm pretty sure.
Damn. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's make another 5 minutes worth of content here.
Huh?
No, because it's a minor and this is a podcast for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably have to cut that out, but it's fine. Sorry about that. Plus, no one's watching live. Like, you see the eyes right here? It gets 0. Nobody cares. Only, like, mom watching for a little while and somebody said hi on Facebook, and that's about it.
That's fine.
We don't keep people's attention very well. We're not good looking enough.
No, I'm not good looking.
We need pretty people.
Pretty
we need
people.
we need to do the Def Punk and just put some.
I mean, we could probably get pretty people
Why?
to come do the podcast. We just whisper in their ear. It's kind of like that porn thing. Have you ever seen that porn where like the
No.
comedians tell the porn actors what to say, when to say it?
No.
Oh, we have to do
Where
react
is
to
this?
that.
Where's this at?
Oh, I think there's actually I don't know if it's on
Pornhub or-
YouTube. It might be on
Can't be
Pornhub.
on YouTube.
Well, I don't think they actually. I think they do the comedy portion on YouTube. I don't think they do the actual.
Oh, they
porn.
don't show the
They
actual.
don't show the actual porn. They show like.
Because it sounds. I think they've done that for like the punk show with the Kutcher, whatever his fucking name is.
Mm-hmm.
That he would have like a person pretending like in a scene like he's the valet or something, and he's giving him instructions through the earpiece. Tell him that his hair is stupid or like something like that. I've seen those pranks.
Mm-hmm.
But
No,
with
they have one in
like,
porn.
that's
Yeah,
all
they
the
have
way
one
out
in
there.
porn. And they just like your script will be fed to you by an earpiece and go
Live.
Well, yeah, like that's while
Is that
they're
where, by
recording.
any chance, is that where there's a clip of porn? I don't know how that snuck into Facebook so many times by now because it's a GIF, right? Where a guy is like, like the guy's fucking the girl on the couch and the camera guy is really close, but then there's another person filming.
Oh yeah,
this.
filming him, and
he has
just,
like a donut.
He has a donut. He's eating.
The camera guy like feeds him a donut mid fuck, and
Yeah.
the guy just sensually takes the donut. The girl down there getting fucked, going, "What the?"
Oh my
Could
God.
that be where that's from?
No, I don't think so. I think that's actually
what porn does. What is the point of
I
that
kind
porn?
of want to know if that porn is real though, and like find it. Like I want
Or
to
if it-
find that porn.
I mean, they look like they were fucking. I don't think that didn't look faked.
No, I think it was a real
But
actual
would
porn.
it be like a joke video that somebody?
I don't. There's so many joke porn. There's so much joke porn
I was
though.
so confused by that. I'm like, what was that? But now that you mentioned that there is some weird directed porn by a comedian, I can see how a comedian would write that.
Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of joke we would write.
Yes.
To make a dumb.
Oh
porn
man, we
joke.
should write porn.
We should write porn. That's the shirt. That's the shirt.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
We should write.
We should
porn.
write porn. We're so bad.
Oh,
We're terrible
God.
writers. We should write
We
porn.
were talking about that's how bad we are. I remember because I do magic and I kind of tell jokes during my magic. Mm-hmm. And I remember being, what I think it might have been Penn and Teller, but it's like if you're bad at magic, throw some jokes in it, be funny.
Yeah.
And if you're bad at comedy, just throw some shitty magic tricks on it. So comedian magic. And I'm actually really good at magic, so the jokes are just an add-on.
Yeah, jokes are bad, but magic's
if
good.
if you've seen Amazing Jonathan do his thing, god damn, he's a bad magician, at least on stage. If he's good at close-up magic, he's not using it on stage. He does the stupidest, silliest tricks out there.
Stage magic is hard though.
It's hard to keep attention for. Like, well, he wasn't even doing stage magic. He was doing regular close-up tricks on stage. So he did the dot pan, which there's one up there actually. We had the dot pan where he like catch something on fire. I think he sets his thumb on fire, which is clearly a thumb tip. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and it takes the thumb off and everything's fine. And then he closes it and an orange comes out and he cuts the orange open and the bill is there, like the bill that he destroyed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it's a generally good trick, but he just did so many fucking jokes that you missed like 1,000 things that he did in between. So he could have faked the whole thing and not do the actual trick and nobody would have noticed.
Yeah.
But there's what else? Like is there any other trick he did? I'm trying to remember his fucking hour special, and there was almost no magic in it. There's another magician from Argentina that does a whole show, and he does 3 tricks in his show. The last one is basically a miming routine where he grabs his hat and the hat moves and disappears it. And
Oh no, I think you've showed me this guy before. Yeah.
His name is Rada.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did another one, another special with no audience because of COVID, and he does a trick in there where he gets a magic. He's recreating the moment he got a magic set as a kid, and he's reading the instruction and doing the trick for you, right? When he grabs like a little sort of a chalice type thing with an egg in it. You take the egg, you put it in your pocket, you close the chalice, you snap, and the egg comes back. And you can do it as many times as you want, or you can disappear it again and then it'll go to your pocket and pick it back up. It's a fake egg. It's an old kid's trick. That, you know what I mean? That if you open it from this, it shows how empty it is. But if you pinch, there's a second lid that actually has the facade of an egg on the top, on the lid. Right? So you can do that, and it shows the part of the egg like the egg was there. You cover it, it completely disappears. You can show both of them empty. So it's a hollow egg that's in there. But it does that as part of a stage show in Netflix. Like, that dude made money from that stupid fucking trick that I'm angry to look at. It's just...
Well, be funnier.
It's insane. Fuck you. He's pretty funny in Spanish. I'll give him that, because the Argentinian accent is kind of funny to hear. Which, by the way, I learned something very political. Nazis...
That was last week.
That was last week?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Politics was last week.
Well, I just got a statement that I learned recently. Argentinians had Nazis.
Huh.
Argentina hosted Germany when that shit happened. I always wondered, and this might be a little controversial to say,
Oh, no.
because I take phone calls from Latin America, that's my job.
Yeah.
Argentinians are very entitled, very much like Americans. They treat me poorly, and they just hear that I'm not one of them, and they talk down to me like I'm inferior. And I was like, what's wrong with that country? Like, what's with them?
What's wrong with Argentina?
Is Argentina like rich people? Like, are they just snotty people? What the hell happened, right?
I don't know.
Looked up some history. Holy shit, Argentina has some dark past. They hosted Nazis. They were trying to be like Nazis. And they killed people. The government would disappear people on the streets.
Well, that got dark.
Yeah. So that's just something I learned recently, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's like the leftover of that generation of like superiority bullshit, is why there are some people that still feel like that.
Yeah, hopefully that is.
Yeah, of course, they're the ones that need me. But okay, so it's sort of like we might want to get like an extra minute or two to remove Sanders' bit.
Oh yeah, and just keep up.
Let's bring the mood back down from Argentinian Nazis.
Oh, okay. Jeez, that was a mood killer. Oh,
Sorry.
Man. That's okay. I'm still sporting a partial, so it's I can still thumb it in. It's fine.
You can still thumb it in. All right.
You ever thumbed it in? Have you ever had
yes, I
sex
have.
with
drunk?
With a,
yes.
Yep, now with a
whiskey dick is a thing.
Where you grip the base and you just kind of shove it in there.
It's like sticking. I think a comedian said it first, but I don't remember who it is. But it's like sticking a marshmallow in a straw. That's the situation you're left with whiskey dick.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get the job done.
I really don't suffer from whiskey dick, but I have way other problems. So I've talked about my.
You have
my
like
problems
you have an overcome problem, right?
Well, definitely have one of those.
You overcome.
A lot. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That is a joke that we never wrote.
No.
But that's a shirt. Overcome.
Yeah.
That's it.
Overcome.
Just overcome.
That's a shirt.
With a shot glass. With a full shot glass.
With a full shot glass.
Yes.
The worst part is that
I have to explain this to people that never saw that episode.
The worst part is, like, I'll be receiving oral pleasure, right? And I know that I can feel like it's a lot, right? Because it just kind of keeps coming out, like multiple
squirts.
Sometimes it's all one stream. Worst feeling.
I'm assuming not a whole lot of them swallow it.
It's usually two or three. Yeah. They do their best.
Because I have been given shots at bars on a whiskey glass where I don't know what their measuring system is, but it was not a fucking shot. So I do the fucking start taking it. I'm like, whoa, that's way too much fluid. And then I grab the lime and then I take the second half of the shot because they put way more than a shot in there, which is more than a mouthful. So I'm assuming you have a similar problem. You must be coming more than 2 ounces.
Yes.
At least for my mouth.
I mean, I've filled a shot glass with it before, on average.
On average?
Yeah, on average, I fill a shot glass.
Which no girl expects a whole shot of fluids coming into their mouths like that.
No. And then on a good day...
I wonder if it could be like if someone's deep throating you, would that make it even worse?
Yes, it does.
Because it goes like straight in, right? They don't have to swallow.
It's a lot.
It's like filling up a cream donut. Just
yeah, it really is.
As you pull out, you have to like leave it behind.
The worst part is cleaning up afterward.
Of course.
Like if I don't use a condom, it's everywhere. it's everywhere.
You need condoms like an extra bag.
I
with
do.
A tube out of it.
No, I make sure like that's something that has happened.
Condoms like that?
With an extra like.
with a tube that goes out,
Oh, I'm sure.
like a colostomy bag, like
I'm sure they have that.
right? Like you could probably insert some kind of thing,
Yeah.
like a tube in the condom. I'm inventing shit now. This is, I'm ahead of my
If
time.
anybody, if anybody could do it, I could.
If anybody can do it,
That's something that
Spider
I
can
remember.
too.
That's something I remember, like when I actually taught sex ed here in Texas, and it actually was pretty comprehensive. I just had a good teacher.
Was it accurate?
Yeah, it was very accurate.
Because that's not required.
No, it's not. But mine was accurate, and I was very happy with
I talked
that.
in this show before about how my health teacher tried to teach me that condoms make it 98% likely to get a pregnancy, which is the most ridiculous number I've ever like. They multiply percentages, and that was a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, we
And by
talked
the way,
about that.
I need to explain the joke about the shot glass because we talked about how you. I mean, for those of you who never saw that episode, we talked about how he comes too much, right?
A lot.
And,
It's too much.
And I told him to sort of measure it in a shot glass. Hello.
Hello.
We told him to measure it in a shot glass. So he brought we grabbed a shot glass and we filled it with Bailey's, I think?
It was Bailey's.
It was Bailey's, and I took a shot of the amount of cum that he would have, and that's a lot of cum.
I remember that.
And so that's what the joke is. we're gonna design a shirt that says "Overcome" with a shot glass,
Yeah.
and that's the shirt for that episode.
That's a shirt. That's
I think
a shirt.
every episode deserves a shirt, really.
I wish.
Way too many shirts.
There's
Right now, 50.
50. We're at negative 50. This is episode negative 50. Oh, for the record, for those of you who are new to this, the show started at episode 0 and it only went down from there.
It's only gone down.
So we're at negative 50 now.
Yeah.
That is the theme of the show. But on that note, we're on time. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. You guys have a great night or day or whatever. Enjoy your life, and life is chaos.
And nothing is sacred. Have a great
Goodbye.
night, guys.